welcome to the first official episode of JB Lynn Cooking Adventures. Woo! Hey clap, hey clap, hey clap. Cute. This week's episode, we are talking about a reverse sear steak with asparagus and Borderlay sauce. We getting fancy up in here. Just kidding. But before we get into this episode, I want to give us a chance to shout out to our sponsors. Just kidding. We don't have any sponsors. It's my first episode. Maybe we'll get there eventually. But anyway, it was actually pretty simple. I'm really happy about that. It probably took like maybe a half hour. It was great. So, what do I want to talk about first? I think I want to talk about the Bordelaise sauce because I feel like that right there just totally sounds bougie. You know, Bordelaise sauce, bougie. So the Borderlay sauce ingredients are as followed. 3/4 cup dry red wine. Let me see if I can do that again. 3/4 cup dry red wine, 2 medium shallots, 1/4 teaspoon dry thyme, 1 bay leaf, 2 cups beef stock, 1/8 teaspoon salt, and a pinch of black pepper. Oh, black pepper, actually. Yeah. So those are the ingredients. Like I said, I'll put those in the comments. So we're just gonna get right into it. The way that we made the Bordelay sauce, we first started with our saucepan. We added the 3/4 cup of red wine, 2 medium shallots, and you want to make sure those are cooked, 1/4 teaspoon dry thyme, and bay leaf. Once it is at a boil, you want to keep cooking it until you reach about half of what the content. So basically what's happening is the alcohol is burning off, and then once that happens, we're going to replenish it with the beef stock, and we're just going to go from there. And it's pretty simple. You just wait until it goes back into a boil, and then there's your Bordelay sauce. So the dry red wine that I chose for the Bordelay sauce, if you guys are curious, because you do want a dry red wine, your best bet when it comes to cooking, especially if you're pairing it with a red meat, is a Cabernet. A Cabernet Sauvignon, if we want to get fancy with it. So the one that I chose is the Joel Gott 815 Cabernet Sauvignon 2018. So I'm just going to give you like a little background on it. It is a California wine. Go California! It has aromas of blackberry and black cherry with notes of clove, vanilla, and brown sugar. The wine opens with dark, concentrated fruit flavors, followed by velvety tannins on the mid-palate and notes of baking spices on the long, textured finish. Do I know what any of that means? No. But it sounds nice. Let me tell you, it tasted pretty good. Actually, I'll show you the bottle right here because I still have it. The reason why I wanted to show you the bottle is because you'll see in the video that I accidentally put my finger over the bottle, and I'm like, wow, that's really bad product placement right there. I should probably pay attention to that. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to grab this little meat, and we're going to cut off that nice big chunk of fat. Something to consider when it comes to meat is you're going to see that there's going to be meat on the there's going to be fat on the outside, and there's also going to be fat on the inside. If you see fat on the inside, it's referred to as marbling of the steak. And something that's really fun about marbling and why so many people are obsessed with it is because that fat actually cooks into the steak, and it gives it a lot more flavor, makes it tender. If you see like a piece of fat that's like outside, like we have here, then it's not gonna taste very well. So we could just cut that off. It's fine. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take off that big chunk of meat. Sorry about my mom walking through the camera. I still live at home, guys. Don't judge. So we're gonna go ahead. We're going to salt that meat. Salt that meat. We're gonna grab some pepper and we're gonna pepper that meat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Push, 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 push. Okay, so I'm going to say that it probably looks like that I'm like tapping to a beat. It's because I am. Okay. My mom was watching TV and there was a piano playing in the background. So like I was pretending to play the piano on my meat. And we're going to grab our asparagus. Gonna put it all up in there. I have, we're just gonna grab that out of the way. I don't know. Look at our beautiful steak. We're gonna pop it in the oven because it's at 225. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're going to replay that back, but this time I'm gonna let you guys listen to the original audio. So you could like probably imagine the kind of anxiety that I had at that exact moment of no. What? My family is crazy and we now have 3 dogs. The youngest one we're potty training currently. All right, so we closed the oven. We're putting on our timer. I like my steak medium rare. I don't know how you like it. So I originally put the timer on for 5 minutes. You can put it on anywhere between 5 and 8 minutes. You can fix undercooked. You can't fix overcooked. A little tidbit there too. We are doing a reverse sear steak. So this is different from a regular steakhouse. So what you do is you actually cook the steak first, and then after it is cooked in the oven, you take it and you put it flat out on a really hot skillet, like burning hot, like spewing stuff at you hot, because this is going to then sear it, and that searing actually locks in all those juices, which is what you really want. You don't want the meat to ooze and gooze the juices. I learned that when I'm searing something, it's best to do 2 minutes on each side. I always like to put a timer on because I'm terrible with timing and wind up like forgetting about things, and that's why my food is usually burnt to a crisp. Or that's the one time that I burned water, because I completely forgot that I put it on. That's how much of a master I am. Name me a professional chef who can burn water. I'll wait. It's quite a skill. When I tell you how good my kitchen smelled in that moment, like I wish I could describe to you, but the amount of excitement that I felt when I was smelling it, I'm like, oh, this smells like real food. And completely missed the jar entirely. Gotta love it, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna grab our steak because it's time to flip it. And we're gonna flip. Ooh, look at that sear. Professional. Let's go. Look at that beautifulness. So with our meal being done, let me go ahead and just talk about the wines really quick. So this week we actually had 2 wines. So we had Joel Got Cabernet. That's the one that we cooked with. That's the one that I accidentally put my thumb over the bottle. This week, the second one is a Ravenswood Old Vine 2017 Red Zinfandel. So let me go ahead and talk to you guys about that. This one too is also a California wine. It is it's a reliable blend. This offers bright cherry and berry flavors, silky. This Zinfandel is not too heavy and can be enjoyed by itself or will pair very well with burgers. I paired it with a steak because, you know, it was Valentine's Day and treat yourself. So something that's fun about dry red wines that I never really actually appreciated before was that, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, the reason why that is because that little, it's called a tannin. And the reason why you feel that and you get that dry profile is because it's acting as a palate cleanser. So you're able to taste the meat a lot better. When I read that little tidbit, I was able to appreciate it so much more, and I enjoyed my meal so much more. And just like that, we are all done with our first meal. Why am I saying that is so lame? So, final review of our meal. Overall, I was very, very satisfied with the Borderlay sauce. I think it was fantastic, and the fact that I was able to make a pan sauce made me feel professional. But also, like, I was just shocked with how good it came out. I was really happy about it. The steak was a little overcooked. A part that I didn't show you guys was that I actually filmed my first bite of it. I was like, so good. And then, like, it went behind the camera and I spit it out. I'm like, oh my God, this is so dry. So 5 to 8 minutes in the oven, depending on how well you like it. And if the 5 minutes are up and it is not what you wanted, or if it's still raw, I would not recommend putting it in for another 5 minutes. Just letting you know that. When I was cutting up this asparagus, I realized how big they were. And I guess I didn't realize in the store when I picked them up that they were jumbo size asparagus. There is nothing wrong with jumbo size asparagus, but I was quite shocked at how big they were. So that is why the asparagus looked like that. It was jumbo size. So that was this week's episode. I would say overall I was very satisfied with the meal. I felt very spoiled because, you know, it's Valentine's Day. I felt like such a professional because I would make my own sauce, and I'm like, look at me now. Don't know why I threw my pen down. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye.